So welcome everybody to today's practice. We are going to begin lying down, so you might wish to go straight there. And you might need a couple of bricks if you have them. If you don't have them, don't worry. So come to lie and rest on the earth as we begin this practice. So you might take a constructive rest where the knees are bent, the feet are flat. You might have your legs long. And take one hand to your tummy, one hand to your upper chest. And ever so lightly, lengthen the back of the neck. So tuck the chin. When we're stressed, we stick the chin up. And just feel the earth beneath you. And as you take a deep breath in through the nose, feel the belly rise, a little lift of the upper chest. And as much as you can, give your body to the earth. Allow yourself to get heavy. So today's practice is all about what we call wintering, and it's inspired by a really beautiful book by Catherine May called Wintering. And what's that about, of course, is that this is the time of year where nature invites us to go a little slower, to pause and to reset. But very often in the world out there, especially in the run up to Christmas, people start speeding up and trying to do more. So we have the season of winter, which we all recognize, but also we have our personal winters, and we could have these in the middle of the summer. So we all have these times where we might be ill, we might experience grief. But can we trust that also this is part of our process? We need to have these seasons so that we can ultimately experience our rebirth. But nothing quite so dramatic as that in our practice today, but just allow now the qualities of winter to be embodied. It's a slowing down, so can you slow down your breath? It's about letting go, just as nature does. So can you really fully let go of your breath? And at the end of the breath, let yourself be empty before you receive the in-breath again. And just for the next 4 or 5 rounds of breath, just see if you can really drop inside your body. Allow the world out there to be. The busy, busy mind can be returned to later. But for this now, this time that you've carved out for yourself, drop into the stillness. So noticing thoughts as they come and go, noticing bodily sensations as they come and go, noticing emotions that rise but also fall, and keep coming back to this moment now. So today's Vinyasa flow practice is all about slowing down. So as you lie on the ground, just take a moment now to bring the feet as wide as the mat and the arms out to your side, almost like a cactus. Pin the elbows down, have the fingers up. And then very slowly as you exhale, bring your knees to the right. As you inhale, bring the knees up to center. Exhale, knees come to the left. Super slowly, breathing in, we come back. Get a sense of being in your feet because they're furthest from the mind. So just starting to loosen at the back. We're now going to crank it up a little bit if you can. This time bring your knees in towards your chest, let the feet touch, and continue with the twists. As you exhale, knees come to the right, but we don't let the legs bend. As you inhale, knees up to center. Exhale, knees to left, but don't let them land. So starting to fire up your power center now, the core. Just do that 1 or 2 more times. And then next time the knees come to the right, we let them land. We take the feet down, the knees down. Take your right hand there to the thigh and press your thighs to the right as you start to look towards your left. And as you breathe in, inflate into the left lung. As you breathe out, soften into the left shoulder, and do that 1 more time. Create space in the body. And now draw your belly to your spine again as the knees come back to center. And then bring them over to the left. So we use that left hand just to guide the thighs across. And then we look towards the right. And we breathe. Soften the right shoulder, breathing into your right thumb. And let's come back to center. And now his knees in towards the chest as you give yourself a little hug, just rocking from side to side. If you want to bring a little bit more into your core, you might lift your head and shoulders up. Just make sure your neck is okay with that. And then before we come up to a seat, drop the head and shoulders back as you extend your legs and arms towards the sky. Spread your fingers and toes and just start to circle the joints. And there's no getting it right or getting it wrong. We're just trying to feel what the body needs today. The winter energy is about receiving, not doing. And as you bring the feet and knees together, we're going to roll up to a seat now and then come all the way back down again. So just bringing a little bit of movement into our spine. And eventually we're going to crisscross the shins and come up onto all fours. So again, feel everything that roots you to the earth here. That's your fingers, your shins. Spread your hands really widely. And we're going to start with cat and cow. As you inhale, the heart rises between the armpits. As you exhale, tuck the chin and round. Inhale, long spine. Rises. Exhale, the chin and round. And do this. This might be enough for you today in this little course. Sit back onto your heels, child's pose. Breathing in, come back into the cow pose. Breathing out, lift up to downward facing dog. Inhale, knees come back down again, heart lifts. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, pause. Exhale, down dog. So just move with your breath between these shapes, whatever they look like for you. So slow your movement down. So 2 more of these. We're just regulating movement with breath, nothing else. There's no achievement. Nobody's marking us. It's not strictly Kung Yoga. And let's come back onto all fours. And as you spread your fingers wide now, as you breathe in, take that right leg behind you and really kick back into the heel. So this is how we lengthen and strengthen the back. As you exhale, bring the knee towards your nose. Inhale, leg extends back. Exhale, knee to nose. Final time, as the leg extends back now, you might also add your left arm and bring elbow to knee. So stay with hand down, that's easier. Just 1 more of those. And pause. And as you press down into the right hand, reach forward into your left fingers and kick back into your right heel and feel the strength. As you exhale, left hand comes down, and we're going to take that right foot forward into a wide lunge. So the foot is outside the hand, and we're just going to come forward and back. So moving into easing into our hips, but in a very slow way. There's nowhere to rush to. So just notice what's the right hip feeling like today. Next time you bend the right knee, we're going to raise the arms towards the sky. Look towards your thumbs, curl your upper body back, and just take 3 deep breaths into your side ribs. Notice if the shoulders have crept up like earrings, can you drop them? 1 more huge breath. So watch the transition now. As we take the hands down, we're going to sweep that right foot back, and it's in line with your left. So we're coming into a side body stretch. Right arm rises, spread your fingers, maybe you look to the thumb. And take a breath here now as you lengthen that right arm up and over your ear. As you press down into the right foot, reach into your right fingers and breathe all the way down the side of your body. Keep pressing into that left hand to protect your shoulder. And then come all the way back to all fours. And as you land, just notice you might feel like you've got more space on the right side. So let's go back to those shapes. As you inhale, you lift your heart. As you exhale, you might come into down dog. As you inhale, you drop the knees, you lift the heart. And as you exhale, you sit back. So 2 more rounds of that again, just to regulate movement with breath. And as you land on all fours, let's do all of that on side two. Breathing in, left leg comes back. Breathing out, knee to nose. Breathing in, leg extends. Keep spreading the toes. Knee to nose. Final time as the leg comes back, we might add the arm as a lift and then we tap elbow to knee this time. And then pause in extension. Lift your lower belly to protect your back and reach into your fingers and your toes. Then the right hand comes down as the left foot swings its way forward. And again, we come forward and back. So we might do a little circle here. Notice how often we tense the shoulders. So just notice how we tense the face. We might be gritting our teeth. See if you can really drop into your body. And then when you're ready, consciously press into the left foot as the arms rise up. And reach for the stars now as you take a huge 3 rounds of breath into your side ribs. Let this be the deepest breath so far today. And then your hands come down. So I'm going to spin round to face the camera. As your hands come down, your left foot spins around. We're in a side body stretch. Left arm rises. Press into your left foot. And if it's too much for your wrist, you come up onto your fist. Left arm comes all the way up and over your ear. And just drop back into your body as you breathe into the left lung. One more deep breath. And we come back. So options now are to have a little rest in child's pose, or maybe you come into downward facing dog. If you're in downward facing dog, it's an upside down triangle. Press the hands into the floor. No, it isn't. It's a right way round triangle, isn't it? Press your thighs, your hips, your waistline back. Maybe you start to pedal out your feet. So this is a vinyasa flow practice. We're going to do some sun salutations, just a moment. So press down into the floor, lift the thighs, the hips, feel the strength all the way down the back of the legs, and breathe. And then forward now into a plank pose. You can always drop your knees, and as you press back into the heels, lengthen your spine forward. Feel the strength of the spine. Drop your knees down now and slowly roll to the earth. First your thighs, then your hips, and then your chest. Hands are either side of the shoulders now. As you breathe in, lift your heart. As you breathe out, you come back down again. And don't worry what it looks like, just get what it feels like. Do a few of these. So how's your back doing today? Just notice. And next time you come down, we're going to press into the floor, take the knees wide, and sit back onto your heels for a child's pose. And remind yourself, this is where you go anytime that you need a rest. Just like winter, it's a pose that invites us to drop into the dark, to check in. So deeply, deeply breathing into the back body. Perhaps take a long sighing breath out. Do that one more time. Let's leave all those thoughts back to the earth. And slowly we come back up onto all fours, back into downward dog. So know that you don't have to be invited to child's pose. If you need to go there, you go. Let's lift those heels up so high now as you come onto your tippy toes. Ease the heels back down again. Do that again. Feel your roots, back of legs. And then look towards your hands now as we slowly come to walk towards the front of the mat. Press down into all 10 toes. As you inhale, come up halfway. As you breathe out, you fold. And with a tiny bend in the knees now, let's roll up to stand. Roll the shoulders back. So we're just going to do a couple of rounds of sun salutations, Surya Namaskara. The sun is still there in the winter, even though we don't always see it. So standing into Tadasana with the hands in prayer. So Tadasana, mountain pose, feet are hip width apart. Inhale, the arms lift up, look to your thumbs. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Breathe in, take a flat back. Step back with your left leg and drop your left knee. Go slow on this first round. Breathing in, arms lift up. Breathing out, hands come down. Right leg steps back, down dog or all fours. Inhale, coming forward to a plank pose. Lower the knees or otherwise now. As you lower to the ground, you might choose not to. Breathing in, lift up to a back bend. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in downward facing dog. Breathing in, left leg rises. Breathing out, left foot comes between the hands, right knee drops. Breathing in, arms lift. Exhale, hands come down. Right foot steps forward to meet the left. Inhale, flat back. Breathing out to fold. Breathing in, we rise. Exhale, hands to heart. One more of those on the other side. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen spine, step back with the right leg, drop the right knee. Breathing in, arms lift. Breathing out, hands come down. Same thing, down dog. You might choose to vinyasa, you might rest, or you might stay in down dog. You can choose. Just stay with the breath. When you come back to downward facing dog, pause, take a breath. Inhale, right leg rises. Breathing out, right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, hands come down, left foot comes to meet right. Breathing in, flat back. Breathing out to fold. And this time, bend your knees and take your hands to your thighs. So a little bit like chair pose, but lighter. Press down onto the thighs as the heart lifts. So you might stay here, or you might raise your arms in front of you and take 3 deep breaths as you strengthen your roots. Notice everything that causes your breath to change, because that's an indication of your nervous system. One more deep breath. And we come to stand. Take the hands all the way back to prayer. And close your eyes as once again, as we began, one hand to your tummy, one hand to your heart. And just focus on breathing into your hands. Mind will keep spinning its stories, but we don't have to listen, so just come back to the body. Right, so we're beginning our sequence now. We're going to do it slow the first time, then we're going to speed it up. So standing on your right leg, lift up your left knee. This is called staff pose. Lengthen the spine, lift your arms towards the sky. So find your balance. Spread those left toes. Take one more deep breath. And then bring the hands back to prayer. Now you can use your bricks here, or take your arms to the sofa, or stand in a balance that's warrior 3. So kick back into that left heel, lengthen your spine, take 2 deep breaths. And some days our balance is wobbly, but that's still balancing. And then we drop that left foot as we come into a high lunge. Breathing in, arms lift. Breathing out, arms come forward. Sorry, arms come back. Inhale, arms rise. Breathing out, arms come behind you. So we're going to slow this first round. Breathing in, we rise. Breathing out, hands behind. And this time, as we bring the arms up, we drop our back heel and we come into warrior 2. So warrior 2, the feet are flat, the back foot is down. Look towards your middle finger and take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, maybe you sink a little deeper there and bend the front knee more. Take 2 more deep breaths there. And if the mind is gone, just come back into what is the sensation you feel. Now let's lean back, and as the left hand comes back, the right arm lifts. So this is reverse warrior. Stay here or hold on to your right wrist. So just gently pull that right wrist behind you as you breathe into the right side of your body. Take 2 deep breaths. And then coming back, we lift our back heel and we might come through a vinyasa. If you don't want to, stay where you are. Otherwise, step back into down dog, forward into plank, lower to the earth. Breathing in, we rise again. And then we come back to downward facing dog and take 3 really deep breaths in downward facing dog. Remember, we're wintering, we're slowing down, we're being gentle. So just notice if you're racing ahead. Lift your heels, look towards the hands. This time you might hop towards the front of your mat. Breathing in, take a flat back. Breathing out to fold. As you breathe in, now we rise the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're going still slow. We're repeating this, and we are going to speed it up. So standing on your left leg this time, breathing in, the right leg rises. Press your hands together to help you balance. Press your left thigh bone back. And if you wobble, just notice you're wobbling. As you breathe out, right leg comes behind you, finding a variation of Warrior Three. One more breath. And then drop the back toes to come into a high lunge. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, drop down a little bit. Inhale, reach into fingers. Breathing out, fingers behind. Breathing in, we rise. Breathing out, fingers behind. One more time. This time, roll that right arm back. Warrior Two. Deep bend in front thigh, gaze forward. 3 deep breaths into the side ribs. Virabhadrasana, the warrior, the power and the strength. Notice breath. And lean back. So either the right hand rests on the right thigh or just a little bit harder, you pull onto the left wrist. Breathe all the way down the left side body. 2 more breaths. Come back to your high lunge. Let's take a vinyasa. Hands come down, downward facing dog. You can always choose rest. And here we are again. Notice the energy moving through you. And feel yourself rooting again. So feel the feet, feel the fingers. Look between your toes and just focus on the next 2 breaths. Every breath is an invitation back to the present. Let's lift up our heels. Let's look forward. Bend the knees, step or hop. Long spine. Breathing out, we fold. Inhale, we rise again, we rise again. Exhale, hands to heart. Feel your feet now, especially the little toes. Notice as you press those down how your thighs engage. So we're going to do exactly what we've just done, but just a little quicker. So breathing in, left leg rises. Breathing out, Warrior Three. Breathing in, lengthen your spine. Exhale, foot comes down. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, just do a heart breath as you come forward. Inhale, a lot of toxins leave through our breath. And once again, we come into Warrior Two. Take a deep breath into Warrior Two. And as you breathe out, reverse your warrior. Hold on to that left wrist. Take a deep breath. Inhale, back to Warrior Two. And now straighten your right leg. So from there, you might now hop your back heel in a little bit. We're coming into triangle pose. As the right hand comes down, the left arm lifts. And press lightly against your right shin to help your heart and belly rotate. Lengthen the right side of your neck now. Feel your feet and take 4 breaths. Especially push into your little toes. Final breath, let this be the deepest one. And then look to your right foot as you slowly come back to Warrior Two. Take your hands to your hips. Turn your left heel in. So we're coming into a pose called Goddess now, again, a very grounding pose. Slide your hands just above your knees. Make sure your knees are outwards, not buckling in. And then lengthen your spine forwards if that suits you. And slowly move from side to side. And really get to feel the inner seam of the leg. So make sure you're nice and slow as you do this, because when we don't like a pose, we'll whiz through it. You think, oh, if I go quick, it'll be over soon. So just really take your time to feel the strength. And you might now have your hands on the floor and be doing this. The lower you go, the more of a stretch. And then let's come to what we call Prasarita. So we take the feet parallel and we allow the head to hang. Maybe your feet are on the floor, maybe they're on a brick, maybe they're on a pet or a sofa. But just allow everything to turn inside now. Close your eyes. What is your felt experience? Again, we're hibernating. Can we slow our breathing down? So in the winter, bears and reptiles, they barely breathe at all. They conserve their energy. So slow the breathing down. Now slowly come up, hands to hips. Gently we breathe that way back up to stand. And immediately close your eyes. Notice that settling of energy. Feel how you're rooted to the earth. And then bring your right foot forward as we come back into Warrior Two. So adding a little side angle pose now. As you lengthen forward, take your forearm to your thigh and the left arm comes up and over your ears. So we extend from outer left foot to left ring finger and we breathe into the side body. Notice which poses, change your breath. And then slowly again, we come all the way up and we take our hands to the ground. And again, we might choose to come through a vinyasa or we might take a rest. And your body knows what it wants. So let the head stay out of the picture. Back in downward facing dog, take 3 deep breaths. And notice in the practice if you're pushing yourself. Again, that's not the energy of winter. So where can you surrender right now? Is there a thought you can think of? An ache or tension in the body? Lift up the heels, look forward. Let's step or hop towards the front of the mat. Breathing in halfway. Breathing out, we fold. Breathing in, we rise again. Breathing out, hands to prayer. Close your eyes a moment just to feel the feet on the earth. And breathe into your whole body. Second round, a little bit more speedy. Breathing in, right knee rises. Breathing out, Warrior Three. Left leg is the standing leg. Breathe in as you lengthen the spine. Exhale, toes come down. Inhale, arms rise. So we're doing 3 hard breaths. Really stick your tongue out if you can. Inhale, this is good for the muscle of the tongue. Good to release tension. Final time, let's rise up and drop the back heel. Warrior Two. Deep breath into Warrior Two. Reverse your warrior. Left arm lifts. Maybe you're holding onto the wrist. Take a breath. Coming back to Warrior Two. Straighten the left leg. Slightly hop your right heel in and take Trikonasana triangle pose. The left hand comes down, the right arm lifts. 4 rounds of breathing as you press into your little toes. Each breath gets slightly longer and deeper as you become more comfortable in the home that is your body. Always look down to release the neck. Breathe your way back up to Warrior Two. Hold on to your hips. Turn the right heel in. So once again, we're in Goddess. So this time we're going to take our hands to prayer. Sink deeply down. And then rise up with the arms. As you exhale, circle the arms out. Inhale like a rocket, lift up. Exhale, we ground the energy as we bring those hands down. And final time, inhale, keep the arms up this time. Maybe sink a little deeper and take 2 deep breaths. Notice the knees' tendency to buckle in. Can you really make sure they're going towards your little toes? Straighten your legs, parallel the feet, back into a forward fold. And just pause there as we take 3 deep breaths, turning inwards again. And you might wish to stay turning in, being a little still, or add a twist as the right hand comes down. Let the left arm lift and see if you can look towards your left thumb. Huge breath in as you reach tall. Exhale, left hand comes down. Really slow this down. Breathe in, right arm lifts. Lift as tall as you can. Exhale, you come down. So that is the first option. Slightly more, right hand comes to left shin. Inhale, left arm lifts, more of a twist. Exhale, cross across, left hand to right shin, right arm rises. So 2 more twists on both sides, whichever version feels best. So just make sure you're slowing it down. And then back to where we began, that kind of hibernating energy. Tuck the chin, let the head dangle. 3 breaths as you breathe into the whole body in stillness. And most of us are pretty crap at being still. One more huge breath. Now a sighing breath out, hands to hips. Slowly, slowly, we come back again, up to stand. And as you come up to stand again, close your eyes, feel the energy settle. So if you come too quickly out of full forward, you're likely to get a bit dizzy. So really ground yourself, feeling into the foot. Left foot comes forward, back into warrior 2. Take a huge breath in. Lean back, we're reversing the warrior. And side angle pose, forearm to thigh, right arm up and over your ear. Press into the outside edge of the right foot. Extend into the right side of the body and just deeply, deeply breathe. Let's rise up to warrior 2. Let's take our vinyasa. Hands either side, coming back to down dog. Remember, you can rest or you can forward to plank. Drop the knees or don't. And down, then into your back bend. And now all of us, let's come back into child's pose. As the knees are wide, the feet are together. Again, that symbol of hibernation. Close your eyes, breathe all the way down to your waistline. And as you breathe out, give everything that you're holding to the earth. Just let it go. Trust that it can be transformed. Take that for 2 more rounds. So you can stay here or you can add a little shoulder stretch now by tent the fingers and then feed your right arm underneath. So you might get your right cheek onto your mat and breathe all the way down into that right shoulder head. Slowly come back. Extend your right leg arm long. This time we feed the left arm. Bring the arm forward again. And then very gently come back onto all fours. Back to downward facing dog. We have 1 more round of standing poses to do. As you press into the floor, press the heels back. Take a deep breath. Exhale, sigh it all away. Lift up your heels, look forward. Step or hop towards the front of the mat. Breathing in, flat back. Breathing out to fold. So bend your knees. We're coming back into child's pose. This time take your hands to prayer. So this is the toughest round. Remember what we did earlier, if that's easier. Lift up your left heel. See if you can lift up your left toes. And this is a wobbly one. From there, let's come into our knee lift. Breathing in, we lift the arms. See if we can take this into a twist. Can you take your left hand to your lower back and right hand to outer or the knee? So we did this on the ground earlier. Look over your back shoulder. Press your right thigh bone back. Come forward, hands to heart, warrior 3. Take a breath. Drop the toes. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, only 1 time. This time as you breathe in, we're taking a twist. So pull your tummy in and take your arms wide as you turn to the right. So the back shoulder gets a bit cranky here. Can you spread your toes? So we're twisting towards the right thigh. Take a breath. Option one is, and you bring your elbow across. So a stronger twist. Press your left hand into your right hand. Notice what happens to your breathing. So all that matters is the breath, not the shape. Take another breath. Let's come all the way back. Once again, the very familiar warrior two. Arms come out, take a breath in. Reverse your warrior, hold on to your right wrist. Come back to warrior two. So final bit of work on this side is a half moon balance. Take your hand to your hip. You can either stay with side angle pose, which we did for the previous round, or, and I always like to use a brick for this, we take our fingers onto a brick. So we lift the left leg and we start to turn, maybe. So remember, nobody's got their scorecards out. It really doesn't matter if you fall over. It's just so good for your hips. Kick into your left heel and spread your left toes and your left fingers. Maybe you look to your left thumb. 4 more breaths. Let this be the deepest breath so far today. Gently bend the knee, coming all the way back. Another good thing about this pose, this practice, is we don't have to turn the gas and the heating on, so saves our bills. Let's take the hands down. Let's come back to downward dog, come through our final flow. Sorry, penultimate flow. And we come back. And as we come back to downward facing dog, take a breath into your whole body. Look towards your hands, step or hop towards the front of your mat. Breathing flat back, breathing out, we fold. Breathing in, arms lift up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Just take a moment to land in your feet, to notice your breath. And trust that all is well. Coming back down into chair pose. So we know what's coming, it's not nice. Lift up the right heel. Stay here or possibly lift up the right toes. Breathe into the wobbles. Lifting up onto staff pose. Pause, stay here or add a twist. Left hand rests on the leg, right hand to lower back. You might look over your back shoulder. And then we swim that right arm forward as we come back into our warrior three variation. Breathing in and breathing out. Drop the back toes, breathing in. We lift those arms up as we breathe out. Release it all. Inhale, we rise. And then we take our twist. So option one, the arms are out wide. Option two, we take the hands to prayer and we take the right elbow outside that thigh. Then press right hand to left as you turn to look over your left shoulder. Keep kicking back into that right heel. 4 breaths. And slowly come up. Feel all that energy and how it moves as we come into warrior two now. Take a breath. Reverse your warrior. Reach from left waist to left fingers. And then you know the option. So side angle pose, a great pose if that's what you're choosing. Otherwise, right hand to hip. Let's come into half moon balance. Or it might be half moon falling over today, as mine is. So lifting up your right leg, lifting up your right arm maybe. And this pose is kind of opposite to winter energy. It's really expansive and open. So spread your fingers, spread your toes. Gently, gracefully landing. Final vinyasa now. Hands come down. Downward dog. Flowing through. So we're really going to step it down a notch now. We're going to come to a seat now from down dog. So you might sit down or you might play a little bit, lifting up your heels, look towards your hands. And as you lift up your feet, you cross them and come to a seat. No one can see you. So let's come into some forward folds, etc. now. So I'm going to face the camera. We want our left leg to be long now, and we want our right foot to come into the left thigh. So a Janu Shirshasana variation. So as we look towards our left kneecap, have your hands either side of your left leg. As you breathe in, lift your heart. And as you breathe out, come to a fold. Inhale, rise again. Exhale, you might fold a little further forward. Keep the spine long. Forward folds don't have to be any more than tucking your chin. And then when you find a place that's sustainable, tuck your chin, slightly move your lower left back a little bit more to the left. Soften your shoulders and just focus on breathing all the way down to above the waist. And forward folds are very much like the energy of winter. They invite us to surrender, to let go. We don't force them, we just allow them to unravel when they're ready. Take 3 more breaths. And let this final breath be a sigh. That symbol of letting go. Look towards your left foot now. Take your right fingers as far forward as you can as you very slowly circle the right arm up towards the sky. And then it comes down to the ground as you lift the left arm up. And we're just going to go from side to side now. As you exhale, the left hand comes down, the right arm lifts. And then you do the other way. Inhale, right arm lifts. So this is option 1. Final option is as the right hand comes down, you also lift up your right hip. And we'll do just 2 more of those. So just find the pattern that serves you the best. So a lot of these are side stretches, which just mean that we breathe better when we stretch our side body. This time we stay, so either left arm lifted, hips down, or left arm lifted, hips up. But press from the left little toe to the left fingers. Breathe into that side. 2 more breaths. And slowly we land. And then we stay the other way. As the left hand comes down, the right arm comes up and over. And spin your heart and chest up. Reach into your right fingers and take 3 deep breaths. And then again, just notice the quality of your breath. The longer, the slower, then the more relaxed you are. Super slowly lift up. So just pause at the top, let the eyes close, let the hands rest on your knees, feel the flowing down of energy. And then root down into your sit bones as you breathe in and breathe out. Do 2 more long, slow, deep breaths. Just notice right now, are you in your body? And then we're just going to bend this left knee. And we have 2 choices. We either sit with a cross-legged position, or possibly, depending on your body, it might be something called double pigeon or fire log. And there is, you flex the feet and you take the left shin on top of the right shin. So no one pose is better than the other. You find the one that's right for you. And as you breathe in, you lengthen your spine. As you breathe out, you look towards that right knee and that left foot. And you come into a little fold there, or a little twisted fold. So tuck the chin. You might come all the way down to your leg, or you might be a little higher. Breathing all the way down to where your left kidney is in the lower back. And again, forward folds teach us to surrender. Can we just accept our body where it is today and just be with it? And what's nice about online is that we don't have anybody else in the room that we can compare ourselves with. When you teach these ones in studios, you see people looking at other people's forward folds and then they judge themselves as not being good enough. So let all that shit go as we just take a deep breath into the body. And slowly, slowly, we come all the way up. And pause at the top again. You might feel that little subtle flow of energy. And however your legs are, just stay there as we do circles. So known as the Sufi grind. Pull your tummy in. you can make a mental note whether you're clockwise or anti-clockwise so that you can change it next time, but don't worry if you forget. How human. I'm at that age now, I'm almost 57, where I just call everybody love because I can't remember the name. So let's circle inwards. I used to find that so annoying when my granny did that. I've turned into it. Let's come slowly, slowly, slowly in until we come to stillness. We pause at the top, take a huge breath in. Sigh away everything else. Oh. And then as you lean back now, we're going to extend the right leg long. So hopefully I can remember those shapes that we've just done. So let's move towards that right leg. Our belly button in line with the kneecap, hands either side. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we fold. Like a wave, inhale, we lift. Exhale, we fold. One more time. And maybe now we hold the fold, which could be a chin tuck. It could be a little further. There's no good or bad. And then perhaps you just move your belly button a little bit more to the right. Breathe all the way down into the left waist, left kidney. And every breath out is an opportunity to melt like iced water. One more breath. And then look towards your right foot as you lengthen your left fingers. And we're doing like a big rainbow. Lift up the left arm. And we take the left hand by the left hip as we lift the right arm up. So again, we're just going to move between these two shapes. We'll do it with the bum down to begin with, just for a couple of rounds. And then if you wish to do so, next time we're up, we lift up the right hip as well. So breathing in, right arm rises, right lift. Breathing out, we come down. And we bring the left arm over. So 2 more of those, whichever one is best. This time we stay as the left hand comes down. We stay with that right arm lifted, maybe the right hip lifted. Breathe, breathe, breathe. More breath, really deep. And we come down. And we take the right hand down as the left arm comes up and over. And again, just lightly press against the right shin so you can spin your heart up. Just breathe. So Iyengar said that breath teaches us surrender. We can't stop the breath, but let the breath breathe you. Breathing in, we rise. So again, we either crisscross the shins now with the right shin in front, or we stack the shins. If you are doing that, flex your feet. Turn towards that left knee, that right foot, breathe in, and you fold. So again, another forward fold, a winter pose. Breathe all the way down to the right kidney. And slowly, slowly come all the way up. Rest your hands on your knees. If you can remember the direction you were circling in, take the opposite one. And if you're like me, just don't worry. Can you feel the waist? Can you feel your shoulders? Maybe you feel the head. So this is called the Sufi grind. And of course, it's a circle. It loosens up the back, but it reminds us how everything is a circle and a cycle, the seasons. And that's whether that's in real time, whether it's in our personal seasons. And the quote I really liked recently was, the good news is nothing lasts forever, and the bad news is nothing lasts forever. So slowly spiral inwards now as we come to stillness. And as we come to stillness now, with your hands, just press your thighs down to the ground, press all the way onto the legs, down to the knees, this kind of symbolic gesture of grounding. And just have the hands either side of you now, fingertips touching the earth. In our modern world, we forget our connection to the earth. So just return to that now, the earth mother, and take 3 even breaths, breathing in, if you can, for a count of 6 or even 7. Pause at the top of that breath. And then breathe out for the same count. Final one. And then from there, we're going to come into our relaxation, our Shavasana. So, and of course, Shavasana translated means death, but a corpse pose. Again, that symbolic gesture that we have to die in order to be reborn, which is just what winter teaches us. So as we come to lie on our back, go as comfortably as you can. Never cheat on this pose. It's the most important one. So you might have a pillow, you might have a blanket. If you have got back issues, either bend your knees or maybe have something under the back of your knees, like a cushion or a bolster. So come to settle. I'm just going to finish with a very short reading from Donna Ashworth, Wintering, which has been the theme of today's practice. You may think yourself lazy or flawed, yet your body is made of almost exactly the same elements as the stars. Your bone composition matches the coral in the seas. And you, my friend, are ruled by the moon and the sun, whether you like it or not. So no, you are not lazy. Nature is simply pulling you to slow, like the life, floral and fauna around you. It is not your moment to rise. It is winter. You are wintering, and you are right on time. So allowing now your body to winter, to soften, to settle. And invite that quality of winter in now as you exhale out all the breath, all the breath, all the breath. Let go. And feel the weight of your muscles and bones resting on the earth. And can you give a little bit more of yourself to the earth? Make yourself just a little heavier. As you breathe in, feel the coolness and the calmness spread from the nostrils throughout your body. Softening the eyes, the jaw. Relaxing all your facial features. Feel the breath coming into the belly, expanding there and moving into your side ribs, all the way up to your collarbone. As you breathe out, drop the shoulders. Allow the arms to get heavy. And uncurl the fingers because there's nothing to hold up to. Soften your hips, your thighs, your feet. And just come to rest now. And rest here now as you breathe into your whole body, your whole body, your whole body. And just stay there till you hear my voice again. So maybe now you realize that you need to stay here longer. You need to winter a little bit more, perhaps until the spring. Or perhaps you've just carved this hour out for yourself, in which case just start to really slowly move your fingers and toes. So ideally it's 10 minutes is a really good Shavasana. And you might decide you need an overhead stretch, moving back into your body, yawning your body awake again. And then maybe you bring your knees in towards your chest, but there's no rush for these things. And if you are choosing to close the practice now, then over the next few breaths, press yourself up to your feet. And as you come to a comfortable seated position, just take a moment to land. You might do a little wiggle in your hips. And again, feel your sit bones on the earth. And as you inhale, let's bring our arms all the way up towards the sky. As you breathe out, bring the hands to breath. Happy wintering. Namaste.